boys and girls. I'm Squidey the Film-Squid, and I'm here today to talk to you about Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Today we're going to talk about what everyone really wants to know, but either cannot or will not up until this point discuss it. And that, boys and girls, is
death.
That's right. We know, whether we want to admit it or not, that there is a good probability that someone from the original cast is going to be killed off. And anyone who has at least entertained this possible likelihood has almost instantly realized that of all the original cast members returning, if anyone is going to get a meaningful demise in the first installment of the new Star Wars trilogy, it's either going to be Luke Skywalker or Han Solo. Now, before we get into that, kids, let's get into why this could be expected in The Force Awakens. Now, boys and girls, kids, I'm a film squid. Squids have a kind of extrasensory perception that seems to elude most human beings. Boys and girls, it's called having a memory. We've all heard rumors of on-set injuries, health issues, multiple Star Wars veteran actors. Fisher and Ford are in draws at the box office, and while Hamill has received success as a fan-favorite voice talent, he remains largely untested on big screen since the original trilogy closed 30 years ago, except for a few small screen roles in live action, and most of those have been laughable. However, even more than any of those other reasons, it makes sense from a narrative perspective. A perspective Star Wars has always lived and died upon, kids. Many deaths in the first film of each trilogy, and this is true. Both first films in each trilogy had high death tolls. They illustrated what was really at stake in the cosmic battle between good and evil. I'm looking at you, Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, and you, entire population of Alderaan, and you, Gungans and Naboo pilots and some other people. Stuff in the Phantom Menace, I guess. I mean, they are wars after all. But both first films in each trilogy had one big, meaningful death of a main character. These were the deaths that really christened each trilogy's young hero on their individual journey. Luke blew up the Death Star, and then the Empire struck back, and finally he returned as a Jedi. Obi-Wan reluctantly began to train Anakin, fought in Clone Wars, and did all this heroic stuff before the Sith got their revenge. So now that we've done this, let's talk about why it might be Han. Harrison Ford doesn't look good, and I know that he's a fan favorite and that most people will start lighting their pitchforks and coming to my cave to kill this film squid. But listen, boys and girls, I saw him at Comic-Con. Dude looks like he had a stroke. He might need to be written out by this trilogy out of fear that Ford won't last 2 more movies. And I mean, more than anything, Solo's story is over. Really, kids, it was over in Empire. And if you really want to push it, you can say that it was over by the start of Jedi. But he had nothing to do for most of that film. The majority of Return of the Jedi, Han Solo spends his screen time pointlessly unlocking a door. Doesn't matter. Stupid. The writers have nothing for him to do. It might not make sense for Han to be there narratively in this new trilogy. I mean, the trailers made it look like a revisiting on A New Hope, where Han and Chewie might be charged to chauffeur these new young characters, this guy and girl. One of them is gonna be our protagonist, and that's fine. And that soccer ball robot, but the chances of him being the main character, small and stupid and dumb. Unless Han's character takes on this, father role in this film, then there really isn't anything for him narratively to do that'll be satisfying. And really, audiences would just be mad that, old Grandpa Han Solo is doing shitty things that we never wanted old Grandpa Han Solo to be doing. And we'll be mad that he's even there. And that won't be satisfying. Alright, So why might it be Luke Skywalker then, kids? Well, boys and girls, I'll say this. Luke Skywalker is a Jedi. And while the Jedi were these weird, creepy priest dudes who can't get married and have to spend all their time meditating, don't really get to have cool adventures because they're like robots, really, and the droids have more personality. But that's just in the new trilogy, in the prequels. And ultimately, kids, that's stupid. But Luke Skywalker is a Jedi, and the series has long established that death is not an end for a Jedi. Mark Hamill might be better suited to a role of a blue glowy guy anyway. He can really work on his voice, and I think that's where his true potential lies. And maybe if these films are smart, that's something they'll take advantage of. One of the highlights of the teaser trailer was Mark Hamill's voiceover anyway. So let's let the guy do what he's good at, not watch Grandpa try to do backflips and be out of shape, and he's never really gonna probably be good in an action movie. So let's hope that they can do something with him that's meaningful. But next, I'll say this, kids, boys and girls, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn in episode 4 and 1, respectively. Each of these characters were the guys who died, and each of these characters were Jedi. You didn't have a big meaningful death come from a smuggler or a rogue type or an anti-hero. No, kids, none of that. It was the mentor that got it in both those films. The first film in each trilogy has a Jedi mentor die as a catalyst for the journey of a young, new, heroic Jedi. And Luke Skywalker now fits this type. Boys and girls, the writing is on the wall. If anyone's gonna get it, it's gonna be him. Because that's what makes sense. Because that's what they're gonna do. And here's why. Now, I know people are gonna debate this, and they're gonna say, no one's gonna have to die, and Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Chewie are gonna be best friends for a million movies, and gonna love each other forever. But, boys and girls, that is what we call not being realistic. The Star Wars series has never been Game of Thrones, where they viciously kill off the main characters at an alarming rate. One main character mentor death per trilogy seems to really be the norm. Precedent. Boys and girls, it's what they do. And they're probably not going to break with tradition. Now, boys and girls, J.J. Abrams, Star Wars, Disney can really surprise us and maybe subvert this expectation, because anybody with a Squid memory is gonna know that this is coming. And Abrams has shown the potential to be this smart in the past, but with a franchise like Star Wars, one that's this big, to break with tradition on this level may be too risky from a studio standpoint. Disney doesn't need the original 3 actors to be there for all 3 of these films to get the audience in the seats. To win audiences over, they needed to get Ford and Hamill and Fisher and Chewbacca and Lando and C-3PO and R2-D2 and other people on board for the first one, for The Force Awakens. But kids, the draw of episode 8, I think we're up to now, will depend on the success of this one on episode 7. It's not gonna matter who's coming back for it or not. I mean, yeah. It's safe to assume that Ford and Hamill and whatever, if they're not killed off, will be there. It's not like they're just gonna be like, alright, peace, we'll see you later in 3 movies. We know they're not gonna do that, but to think that they're just in for all of them, and we could think that they're gonna be there, and that's what's important, is stupid, because it isn't. Don't talk to me about the fact that they all signed on a multi-picture deal. That doesn't mean shit, kids, and it really only talked about by studios to pacify the jittery fanboys and girls, and to make sure that they have the actors if they need them. Go look at Hugo Weaving. Agent Smith has said that while he hated working in the Marvel movies of Captain America and doesn't want to do another one, it's contractually obligated because they got him from a multi-picture deal that when Marvel decides to use the Red Skull again, I'm looking at you, Infinity Wars, when Marvel decides to use the Red Skull, Hugo Weaving doesn't have a choice, motherfuckers. They got him. They got Ford and Hamill too if they want. It's like they probably don't need one of them. So they're probably gonna kill one of them. They're gonna kill Luke, Because that's what makes sense. Because Luke's gonna be a blue glowy guy for episodes 8 and 9, and like we're gonna hear voiceover, and it's gonna help like the girl and the guy like do stuff. And awaken the Force. And that's why it's really probably going to be Luke, kids, and you could say whatever you really want about it, and we could talk about it, but there's precedent, and the characters are old, and like really they're untested in the last 35 years, so it's a gamble. This is the safe thing, and this is what makes sense, and this is what they're probably going to do, but, you know, boys and girls, like, you can light those pitchforks again if you want, but I would say let's wait till December to see if I'm right or not. And if I'm right, it's because squids have memory, and if I'm wrong, it's because maybe someone making the movie had a memory too, and they were like, oh shit, the squid figured it out, let's not do this. But anyway, boys and girls, I don't know, and hopefully, I mean, if you haven't been thinking about this, maybe now you are, and this won't ruin the movie, it's not gonna make it bad or anything. I'm really looking forward to the Star Wars movie, because, like, those prequels were terrible, and even Jedi was kind of sucky with the Ewoks, and whatever. This cutesy toy shit doesn't sell shit, nobody's buying it, people, fuck off, it's dumb. So anyway, boys and girls, I have been Squiddy the Film-Squid, talking to you about movies. Now go outside and play. Okay, bye-bye. The Jedi were these weird, creepy priest dudes who can't get married and have to spend all their time meditating and don't really get to have cool adventures because they're like robots, really, and the droids have more personality.